what is there to talk about? You fighting the best fighter in the world. You better be taking it serious. You know, that goes to show, you know, how serious he's taking me and how much he respects me.
You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. I meant that.
Terence Crawford had finally given a cold and calculated reply to the news that Canelo Alvarez brought in Jaron Ennis for sparring before their anticipated showdown.
You know, if I haven't fought anyone, if I was too small, if I was, you know, all these things that all the media said I was, then he wouldn't need these guys to help prepare him to fight me. He wouldn't, you know, need all the help that, you know, he's getting. But I'm happy that he's getting the help that he needs because...
Terence Crawford reflected on his career and mindset, stressing that being the underdog was nothing new to him. He explained that he felt confident and comfortable in such situations as it had always been a constant part of his path.
All my life. I've been an underdog all my life. You know, so I feel good, I feel comfortable, I'm confident, you know, and this is no unfamiliar place.
Terence Crawford described how this was a unique fight with unique significance compared to his other bouts. He noted that the quality of his opponent, the weight factor, the stakes involved, and the effect on his career legacy made this fight something different.
This one is different because of the opponent that I'm facing, the weight that I'm facing, the level of fighter that I'm facing, what's on the line, the legacy, just everything as a whole is, you know, make this fight.
It was no coincidence that Canelo decided to work with Boots, who is known for slick movement, sharp counters, and the ability to switch stances with fluidity, just like Crawford himself. For Alvarez, it was not merely training but an actual investment in replicating what he would face under the bright lights when he meets the undefeated Omaha star. Brian Bomack, the longtime trainer of Terence Crawford, commented about Canelo Alvarez bringing Jaron Ennis into sparring before the fight. In his opinion, the move was unnecessary and would not add any real value since Ennis, despite his great ability, could not replicate Crawford's timing, style, and intelligence inside the ring.
You saw him sparring with Boots. Give me your initial response.
That don't mean shit, man. That don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing, man. Boots ain't no Crawford. Yo, hey, like I said, that don't mean, all that shit don't mean nothing. That shit ain't gonna help him. He should have just got the last cab driver he just fought.
Bomack opined that such sparring might look impressive to fans, but it would not help Canelo prepare for a fighter as adaptable and tactical as Crawford. He described it more as a publicity move meant to generate conversation rather than a real training strategy.
That don't mean nothing, man. All that shit don't mean nothing. You ain't no Bud Crawford. They don't have that mentality. Having that mentality and going upside your head at the same motherfucking time, shit, man. I don't give a fuck about all that shit, dog.
Canelo's camp is built on careful planning. This time the challenge is different. Crawford is an enigma, a fighter who can shift mid-fight and dissect rivals with sharp instinct, with knockout power across divisions. Bringing in someone like Boots, who shares many of those traits, shows the respect Canelo has for the danger ahead. It also proves he is leaving nothing to chance. Terence Crawford addressed Canelo Alvarez hiring Jaron Ennis as a sparring partner. He revealed that he had never even seen the news but only heard about it when someone showed him. Crawford dismissed the importance of the move, saying that while people may see similarities between him and Ennis, they were not the same fighters.
Saw that he brought in Jaron. What was your reaction? Your first initial reaction when you saw it?
I actually didn't see it. Somebody showed me and I was just like, so what that mean? He's not me.
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot and we fight a lot, he's not me.
Terence Crawford sent a confident message to Canelo Alvarez's fans, making it clear he was certain the result would surprise them. His words carried a calm but serious tone, suggesting that many doubters would soon be proven wrong after the fight.
He's talking about the size and, you know, me being a smaller fighter. But if you look on the stage, I've been sparring these big dudes my whole career. Like, how I'm gonna take a punch? They punch me every time we spar.
This reflected the mindset of a warrior who thrives under pressure and embraces the chance to silence critics. The warning issued by Crawford added intrigue to the build-up, showing not only that he was ready, but that he believed he would make a lasting impact in the ring.
In the ring, and they see something different, like each and every time, there's gonna be another excuse. Why, the reason why Terence won, and this and that and this, but I can assure you, I'm gonna be victorious, and after that, we're gonna have another parade.
The build-up to this fight has reached a level of intensity rarely seen in modern boxing. It is not just a money fight. It is a clash between two of the most complete fighters of their era. Fresh off his decisive win over Errol Spence Jr., Crawford has cemented his place as one of boxing's most dangerous technicians. Bernie, Crawford's assistant coach, clarified that news of Jaron Ennis helping Canelo in training did not concern their team. He said they had full confidence in Crawford's skills and preparation and not in what the other side was doing. Bernie emphasized that outside factors meant nothing in their camp because they were focused only on their game plan and fight night.
Who cares that Boots is over there? Who cares? But they're asking me because it's out on the... They're asking me. So I'm telling you how I feel. Y'all mad at it? I'm not mad. Who gives a fuck? They was already saying that he should get Boots anyway from the beginning. So who cares? I mean, never entered my mind to give a fuck. Never. Let them do what they do. I don't care. Neither one of them can whoop him. Neither one of them.
You did say that. Yep, you did say that on the live.
Neither one. So
Robert Garcia expressed his view that Canelo Alvarez held the edge going into the fight, arguing that his strength and physicality could potentially cause serious problems for Terence Crawford. However, Garcia did not dismiss Crawford's chances.
I put my money on Crawford either because Canelo's fucking strong. But I go based on Canelo's last two performances where flat-footed, one punch at a time. But I don't see him doing that. I think he's gonna fucking fight.
He admitted that if Crawford approached the fight with a calculated plan, using his ring IQ and avoiding unnecessary risks, he could pull off the upset. Garcia's take was respectful toward both fighters but highlighted how tactics and discipline would determine who emerged the ultimate winner under the bright lights of such a high-stakes event.
So, more likely Canelo's gonna win, maybe even hurt Crawford, but do I think Crawford has a chance? 100%.
The calmness under pressure, his ability to size up opponents in the opening rounds, and his killer instinct have made him an icon admired almost universally by fans and boxers alike. Facing Canelo is a different world. The weight gain, the stress of a larger opponent with elite-level defense, and the raw strength of Alvarez are not easy compared to challenges faced before. Antonio Tarver noted that Canelo Alvarez had already seen nearly every style possible. Slick movers, sharp counterpunchers, and heavy hitters. He said this was Canelo's biggest advantage because he could remain calm when troubled and make adjustments when things failed to work.
Can Crawford win a close decision? I don't think so. I don't know. Canelo is Canelo. You feel me? So now that could be a situational issue. If Crawford win 8-4, they say it's a draw, or they give it to Canelo, you know? So in the back of my mind, that's what's looming.
Tarver hinted that because of this, it would be difficult to show Crawford anything Canelo had not already seen. He stressed that physical endurance and size would be crucial factors, as Canelo is naturally strong, has a proven chin, and a long record of success at this weight. Crawford, by contrast, was a pioneer.
Crazy to think Canelo can't win this fight with his power, strength, and this man ain't never been hurt, really never been in trouble before. But that one time,
shout out to Cotto, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that one time he had Cotto,
the younger brother, the other brother. Yeah.
That's the only time we seen Canelo shook up. So he learned how to either take a punch or not get hit with that punch. Smart.
For Canelo, this is more than just a high-profile fight, it is a fight that defines his name. After years of leading multiple divisions and adapting to every possible style, he now faces a clash of strength and command in the ring against arguably the smartest fighter in the sport. Robert Garcia reflected on Canelo's recent performances, noting his power may not be as devastating as before. He suggested this gave Terence Crawford a legitimate chance, especially if the fight reached the late rounds where Crawford's timing and flexibility could matter most. Garcia, however, stopped short of making a full prediction.
It's a good punch. Why not? But Canelo doesn't pressure that hard anymore. He doesn't put the pressure anymore. So, combinations, movements, boom, 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 defense. Could get knocked out in the last round, even if he's winning every single round. But he's got to fight a perfect fight. Can he do it? I think he can. But I still put my money on Canelo if I have to.
Canelo thrives on rhythm, accurate counters, and body work, breaking opponents down over time. But Crawford is not the kind of fighter who lets pace be dictated by his rival. He shifts seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw, creates angles that force mistakes, and counters with surgical precision. This is what makes the matchup compelling, the tactical depth. American boxer Alicia Baumgardner recently weighed in on the highly anticipated fight, giving her thoughts on the rare obstacles Terence Crawford would face. She emphasized that Canelo Alvarez's size would be the hardest challenge, combined with his deep experience fighting so many different opponents.
I have to agree with the size. And I also have to note that experience is everything when it comes to boxing. And I feel like Canelo is a well-seasoned fighter. And he's been in the ring plenty of times with multiple great fighters. And we also see him with Voyage, who he lost to, which didn't really do anything bad to his career. He just took a challenge, which Terence Crawford is doing, so I commend them both.
Fernando Vargas Jr., who once shared rounds with Terence Crawford, gave his view on Alvarez versus Crawford. He called it a fascinating clash, pointing out that one fighter might be at his peak while the other may be slightly past it. Vargas Jr. believed Canelo had lost some of his sharpness over the years, yet still carried dangerous power along with the size advantage.
Has their own take, right? Crawford's the best skilled fighter ever. Canelo has power, he's on his decline. It's interesting because Canelo, doesn't throw as many punches as he used to. They say he's on his decline. Crawford, he's a very skillful fighter, very smart. I've actually had the opportunity to spar with Crawford, and it's always respect between me and Crawford. Me and my family may not get along with the Davises.
Vargas Jr. also stressed that weight plays an essential role in boxing. He explained that divisions exist for a reason, since facing naturally bigger fighters can decisively impact outcomes. As an example, he pointed to Canelo's defeat against Dimitri Bivol, where size and physical strength were major factors.
For Crawford and what he's done. I just feel there's respected weight classes for a reason. You saw Canelo when he moved up to 175 when he fought Bivol. You saw what happened there. Yeah. And I just feel Crawford is one of the best fighters ever, and he could fight in any respected weight class. He could fight in any generation in his respected weight class. I feel Canelo's going to be too much.
Meanwhile, Crawford and his camp stayed locked in with extreme focus, gaining confidence through their intense training. Improving timing, combining speed, and sharpening precision became the daily agenda. Even the slightest edge could mean the difference in a fight of this magnitude. The strategy was disciplined and consistent to ensure Crawford entered the ring at peak condition and delivered a strong performance. The stakes could not be higher. Beyond styles and tactics, a win for Canelo would further cement his legacy, proving once more that he can conquer the very best, across eras and divisions. A Crawford victory, however, would not only crown him a two-division star but also lift his name into folklore where size, odds, and history bow to talent and perseverance. Brian Mendoza reviewed the matchup with realism, admitting he changed his opinion nearly every day as he weighed both fighters' strengths. He explained that size was not as simple as it looked, noting that Terence Crawford had gained weight and appeared physically strong, perhaps even taller, when he faced off against his opponent.
Canelo, because of the size?
Yeah.
I know the size thing isn't so, so obvious, I guess, because Crawford is bigger.
Right.
Crawford is heavy, you know, like he carries himself, you know, he's very solid right now. He's taller, you know, when you've seen the face-off, so he is technically bigger. It's just the size it's very different when you carry that weight in the ring. That's what you got to worry about performing with.
Brian Mendoza went on to say he was unsure whether Terence Crawford could handle the weight of 168 pounds consistently. He noted that although Crawford had the edge in skill and technique, the challenge of fighting a naturally larger opponent might prove decisive. He said, "I don't know if he's going to be solid enough, like just used to carrying that type of weight around at 68. So, that's the reason I lean towards Canelo. But skill-wise, everything else is obviously still more on Bud's side. I just lean towards Canelo because at the end of the day, you've got to respect the weight classes." Lithuanian fighter, the Mean Machine, known for his toughness in the ring, also shared his view on the big fight. He admitted that his first reaction when the bout was announced was to count Crawford out, believing that Canelo Alvarez's size and power would simply be too much. Over time, however, his perspective shifted.
And Canelo, they're like the favorite boxer for me. I love Canelo, I love Crawford. Even like after I fought Crawford, I become his fan. Like he's amazing boxer. So when it was like rumors, I'm like, oh no, it's not good for Crawford. Canelo's too big. But right now, my position changed. I think Crawford is too fast and too smart for Canelo. Even Canelo's a good boxer. I'm like saying not taking nothing from Canelo, but
reassessing Crawford's ability and technical brilliance, he admitted he had become more convinced that the Omaha native could indeed rise to the occasion. His change in outlook highlighted just how much Crawford's talent and versatility could influence predictions for this mega showdown.
Here, Usyk fights and what Usyk did to the big guys like Joshua and Fury, so the size of that doesn't matter. I think the skill level matters, and Crawford, he gained weight, but I think he's gonna be like even faster, and like his head was good in the ring. He's like boxing is just on top, so I would say 50-50, but right now I'm kind of leaning more to Crawford.
It is the prelude to one of the most thrilling clashes in boxing history. A fight pitting experience against youth, reputation against potential, and history against destiny. From trainers to fighters, every opinion leans one way or another, showing just how thin the margins are that could decide this fight. But when the bell rings, only one man will leave with his hand raised, and the world will finally discover who truly reigns supreme. Who claims it? The power of Canelo, or the brilliance of Crawford? Share your guesses in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Voyage for more amazing boxing content. Stay tuned for the next big fight.